So here I am with the founder of Kindness Evolution and Camp Kindness, Wendy Gilbert. And I'm so excited to get to introduce her and have you guys find more about Camp Kindness. So let's just get right into it. Wendy, do you want to introduce yourself? Talk a little bit about your background and how Camp Kindness came to be.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Haley, for taking this time. And I've always been interested and love camp. And I never considered myself like a kindness queen, but I happen to be bringing a lot of kindness activities to my kids' school. And I ended up just getting on a lot of lists of companies, organizations that were giving either inspirational kindness information or were giving opportunities for people to be involved. And I just started receiving all these in my mail box, and a light went off, and I thought, my goodness, there's so much kindness going on, and A, no one really knows about what everyone is doing, and B, what's possible if we all collaborated together. So that was kind of the beginning. And I was speaking on some stages about the kindness that I've been finding in the nation. So I've been researching my organization for 8 years now. And our research focus is what is the kindness that's happening in our nation. And I've had 15 interns, high school interns, helping me with this research and collecting the data. And internships are super important to me. There's just such a win-win situation, and it's how I started my career. So that part's really important to me. And camp director of my daughter's kids camp saw what I was doing and contacted me immediately. So this was in 2018. And this gentleman is named Scott Rawls. And tragically, he passed away a couple of years ago with cancer. He has made such an impact on this world. The first thing he did when he saw what I was doing with kindness is he contacted Tom Rosenberg, who's the president of the American Camp Association. And he said, I think there's something here in terms of collaborating. And the reason being is that the values of camp are so aligned with everything that I'm speaking about. So it's not like we're creating something new at camps. These values are ingrained into what camps are all about: kindness and compassion and generosity. So in 2018, we created the first Camp Kindness Day. And it's just such an exciting project because American Camp Association reaches 7.2 million kids. They reach 100,000 college-age kids. They reach 10,000 organizations that are under the umbrella of American Camp Association. So we're talking Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and YMCA. So American Camp Association has this wonderful ability to be reaching so many people. And so together, and now with Kokori, we are really bringing all of this intentional kindness possibilities to camps and community centers and libraries all over the nation. So it's a super exciting time.
It's super exciting. I mean, I want to go back to what you said about your kindness research and what you found, because I'm just curious. I mean, that seems to be like the real seed of everything. Do you have any statistics or things off the cusp that you can share?
Yeah, thank you. So we've created a list of 140 organizations whose sole mission is to bring kindness, compassion, and generosity and care to the world. So we're not even talking about organizations happy.com or be happy or be more fulfilled. We're not even talking about that. And of course, gratitude and happiness, probably one of the elements of that is to be kind, but we're not even talking that. We're literally talking random acts of kindness, think kindness, kindness matters, pay it forward. So what's possible when we all come together? So one of the ideas was to create a symposium where we gather all of the leaders together to say, what can we collaborate on? Still keeping our own brand and our own message, because that's really important, but in addition to? Is there a message that we could all get across, that we could all shout out the same day? So I started getting in touch with people. So out of that 140, I think I've probably spoken directly to about 50 of them. And the rest of them I have been in touch with. And in 2018, my dream came true, and 26 leaders flew in across the country to California, to a spot where we worked for a weekend, really worked hard with lots of different exercises. How can we collaborate for greater good? So in my research, what I'm finding is that the list just keeps on going and going and going and going. And I feel like I'm on the umbrella looking down, and I'm seeing all of this activity, and I so want to share it with the world, because, you know, we wake up every day and we look at the headlines and we know what's going on, and it's just tragic, and there's so much diversity and there's so much negativity, and it's a really hard time right now. And there's so much kindness going on. And I think if people knew it, they could wake up in the day a little bit different, differently.
Really.
So in my research, I think it's given me hope. It's given me a lot of hope. And I also really am passionate about sharing it. I think kind of that's my responsibility at this point. If I know it, not to keep it to myself. So there's just a whole awareness and excitement about the community that we have, and then all the people that are on the email list of each of those organizations, right? I mean, it's just so many people. So that's a little bit that's been happening around the research.
That's awesome. I mean, I think it's so important that people know it, especially because like there's enough negativity. Everyone knows that you can turn on the TV at any moment and see really scary things whenever you want, but it's not, the kindness thing is not as easy to access. So it's a big.
Although to that point, Haley, it's so interesting, because if people know where to look, they can be bombarded with good news.
Exactly.
So every day on Facebook or on Instagram, Random Acts of Kindness is offering inspiration every single day. It used to be through email, now it's through text. So if you sign up, you get an inspiration on your phone every single day. There are, you can be a Random Acts of Kindness ambassador, or you can be a Ractivist, or so there's all of these opportunities that if you know, and all you got to do is just pick one, you can kind of be inspired daily. And one thing I learned is that in Facebook, you actually can do settings where you say the first thing that I want to see when I wake up every day is this account, this account, this account. So I wake up every day to the good news from Upworthy and goodnews.com. And so I've set it up so that I receive inspiration first thing rather than that negative stuff.
Totally. And that's something I think that everyone can do. So I love that you bring it up. So let's talk about what you've seen over the last couple of years with Camp Kindness, because I want to talk about.
Thank you.
What's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
In 2018 was the launch, and we were just so excited to bring awareness to this new day. And really the first year was such an uprising of positivity and celebration. Then the pandemic hit, and then so it kind of feels like we're coming out again and launching it again. What I loved is the research that my interns did that summer, and they went on Instagram, #CampKindness Day. And we've created a spreadsheet of every single organization that has participated. And our request was, if you are participating, please just post a photo on Instagram with #CampKindness Day, so that we can actually start seeing who's involved. So the first year was just so kind of awesome, in that when I went to Instagram and saw all of those posts, it really just made us feel that we're holding the container for so many people to get the idea and be inspired. And really for Camp Kindness Day, all it is adding one activity that has to do with intentional kindness. So it's not like you have to plan a whole parade or a whole day. You can literally do one thing. And this year, Kakori app, which is the platform that is taking all these activities, not only in one place where people can access them, but I love what you all are doing because they are aligned with the SEL standards. You give, reflect, and play and grow. And that's something that's so important right now. It can't just be this one-off of, go play bingo. It leaves, so much space and people have to really work it. You all provide in one click an easy access for people to be adding. So this year, because now we are collaborating, American Camp Association, Kokori app, and Kindness Evolution, we are giving everyone the opportunity to do this so much easier than they used to have to. And also, Haley, you are the one as the creative director that has created such beautiful graphics for all of these activities. And we thank you so much. And some of your ideas were just really kind of out of the box. We had all these kindness quotes, but you're the one that thought, you know what? Let's put them someplace where people are going to see them. And so you created these beautiful bookmarks. And so not only is that a way for people to be able to see a kindness quote, but it also enhances the beauty of reading. So, and there's so many things with those bookmarks. An overnight camp can cut them out and put one on each bed when the kids arrive. Day camps, when everyone comes in the door, they could hand them. For Camp Kindness Day, during lunch, people stand up at their table and read one. They could be in one table that everyone reads one, and then there's a conversation around which was your favorite or what did it inspire in you. So just that one thing that you created, those bookmarks, I mean, look at the legs that it has, and to bring them to libraries. And it's just so exciting. And the bingo that you created and the calendar. So I'm just so excited for anyone who's watching this to go to Kokori app, go to Kindness Evolution, go to American Camp Association, look at all of the different platforms. And the main objective is grab an activity and bring it to your kids on July 19th. It's coming up, Camp Kindness Day.
Yeah, no, and I love all your activities that you had about the bookmarks. I mean, I create them, but then you guys are the ones who really give it the legs and give it and bring life to them. I mean, for bookmarks, Kokori does them all the time for conferences, and we use them as ice melters. So we use them as like, take a bookmark that you feel like you need today, or take a bookmark that you feel like resonates with you today. And it's so good to really create very quickly some deep and meaningful conversations with people that you literally just met.
Yes.
So that's our take on the bookmarks, but you can use them in so many ways. And reading is so huge, especially for students.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm learning some really pretty intense statistics about being at grade level for reading by the time you're third grade, if students are not at grade level by third grade, their vulnerability to being incarcerated, being involved in drugs and alcohol is like, I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot higher by third grade. So it's,
wow.
You wouldn't know, it's kind of insidious, but it's a big deal. So anyway, that's my little take on reading for now.
Yeah, we love those bookmarks.
Bookmarks are everything.
Right, bookmarks.
That's the solution, bookmarks. What about your takeaways over the last couple of years? Like, if you could give out your wise wisdom, I know you've shared a lot of it, but what's some going forward things that you'd like to say?
Yeah. What I love about introducing these activities is the way that camps add their own special sauce to it. So there's some camps that are taking an activity and they're doing it the whole session. So they're not just doing it on Camp Kindness Day. They're kind of being inspired and getting ideas. And then, maybe they're standing up every day at the flagpole and shouting out someone who has done something good. Or maybe there's a box, and anytime someone does something good for you, you put their name in the box. Maybe there's a wheel that people spin that says, for today, write little notes on, someone's pillow and leave it for them. So what I see and am inspired by is that people are taking it and then utilizing it in their own way. And that's a really beautiful thing, because it gives, again, so much inspiration about what's possible. And these activities are very diverse in terms of some of them being graphic and some of them being things that you think about and some of them being for others and some of them being for self-care as well. What did you do for yourself that was kind, which was a big deal. So what I've seen is the expansion of the ideas, whether it's for all summer. My camp, which I love, which I want to take a moment to talk about at some point, which is Trip Lake Camp in Maine. They actually gave this responsibility to their oldest campers. So the senior ones and the senior twos spend the summer, the first part, creating and developing it, and then they run it. And so that is just kind of like a whole new idea, give your older kids the empowerment and the leadership possibilities, and the young kids just so look up to the older kids. And so it adds that whole level of being inspired by older kids. So I just love that it is expanding over time and what's possible. And one thing that's possible, and this is a pilot program that I'm going to be running next year, is Camp to Campus. And so what that does is it takes the campers and it takes an activity that they have learned about, and we ask them to bring it back to their school to be celebrated on World Kindness Day, which is in its anniversary this year, I think 10 years. And I may be wrong on that statistic because it even could be 25 years. So I apologize for not knowing that. What I do know is that it's a day that's celebrated internationally. And so how great for our kids, to bring them into the school, bring an activity into the school to be celebrated on World Kindness Day. But it's also a great opportunity for camps to stay involved with their kids over the year. And what did you do? And kids having dialogues online about what activity they did. So there's a lot of potential, again, in that same conversation about growth. If our mission is to more fully incorporate intentional kindness into every aspect of our society, our kids can be doing this in a big way. So that's super exciting.
It's super exciting. And I actually got the number for you as you were
Thank
talking.
you.
You're welcome, because I was just curious. It's actually 25 years because
Yay, 25
it
years.
was founded in 1998, which is the year I was born. So I know how old I am, and it's 25.
Yeah, so that's something.
November 13th.
Yes.
November 13th.
25 years. And so a lot of people don't know about World Kindness Day, and it's been going on for 25 years. So really, it's time for it to come out as a day of celebration.
Yeah. I think it's easy to focus on the negative, but for 25 years, people have been, really for millennia, there's been kind people,
Yes.
in the crevices, but this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite kindness quote? Because I know we have bookmarks and we have a lot of quotes on them. Do you have any one thing that you tend to go to?
Well, I think there was a quote that said, after all these years, I think this was Aldo Huxley. After all these years, I wish I could say something profound, but kindness is really at the bottom of it all. We go to law school, we go to, we pursue classes, we do all of it in pursuit of excellence. But if we all just went back to the basic of what would this world be like if we all woke up in the morning and said, I wonder what opportunities will present themselves today where I can be kind. So not random acts of kindness, although that's beautiful, but really with intention. If we all woke up to say, I'm going to look out for places where I can be kind today, I think we would up the kindness in a big way.
Yeah, it's in the present moment. I know it's a bookmark in the set that we made. It's a Mother Teresa quote. And if I can paraphrase it, she says that don't worry about doing something, some grandiose gesture of kindness. Just try to find kindness in every little interaction you have throughout the day. And I do think that that's how something big can happen. It's, in the present moment every day. And then another one that I am not sure if it's a bookmark, but it's that kindness, that empathy is like one of the highest forms of intelligence, actually. It's not in the books, friends.
Right.
Probably if you're listening to this, you already know that. But yeah, the empathy is one of the highest forms of intelligence, which I think is so important to take on.
Why we don't teach all of that in school. And I know that,
Kokori,
you're taking a stand for it. Right.
Yeah.
And, but just, like we learn math and we learn English, our character and developing our character and understanding emotions. We have a ways to go with schools, but it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, and we're doing it. We're on the front line. So
I think as I started, I talked about my two loves of life, which are kindness and camp. And I would love to share my screen.
Yeah, please do.
It started as Camp Kindness Day, and it is focused on that. And of course, people in other places who are gathering young kids, no matter where they are, an opportunity and invitation to celebrate Camp Kindness Day. For those that go to camp, I think pretty much we can universally talk about how important camp has been to us. And camp has just played a huge, huge part in my life. And I'm going to share the screen. And these are all the camps, actually, since I had it on my screen. These are the camps that are on our list in terms of who's out there doing what we're doing. And so letting everyone know on this list about Camp Kindness Day, again, starts to have the spread of it be that much more prevalent. So let's look at camp. Let's look at AAA camp. So this is up in Maine, and my sisters and I and my cousin, we all went there for 7 years, 7 weeks each summer. And this was my bunk in 1976. And here we are in 2020 when the pandemic hit. So we have been in touch all of these years, and the bonds that you make at camp are sometimes just lifelong. So here I am as Tiger Captain in 1976. And on the first Camp Kindness Day, my sisters and my cousin and I went to Trip Lake. And here I am in 2018, still got that camp spirit in me.
You are the cutest thing ever.
And then my sisters and I, here we are at the Little Talent Show in 1972. And here we are in 2018 when we went up to launch Camp Kindness Day. And in 1972, my dear, dear friend Pam, and here we are last week. So the bonds really are so lifelong if you're lucky. And so I just love that camps are taking on with intention on the 19th activities. And again, for most camps, it's ingrained in their fabric and they do things. And when we shine the spotlight together, all of us on July 19th, and put hashtag Camp Kindness Day, we are going to see the spread of what's going on in our nation, and just be proud and be hopeful and be excited about that.
Well, that is just so touching. I love what you're doing. I really commend you for taking your own time to do this. I mean, you could be doing anything else. You could be hanging out at the beach like me every day. But you're really spending your time to spread this. And I think that's awesome. I just want to share actually, I want to share one of our activities, Kindness Bingo, that we talked about.
Yeah.
It's worth throwing up on the screen. Just to go through some of the things on there.
I love it.
To talk about the different ways of kindness. I want to touch upon that quickly. But like we said, kindness can be to other people or to yourself. Here's a bingo that anyone can do. I mean, you can do it through the week, you can do it through the day, but sometimes kindness is facing your fears because you're pushing yourself, and that's a form of self-care, or sometimes kindness is outward, acknowledging someone else, being generous, giving, making an inspiration rock. Wendy, that's one of yours. Do you want to talk through some of these?
Well, I would love to, and I need to share my screen, I guess, because I have all these activities on our activity page. Do you have all of your activities all in? Oh, let's look at yours.
Let's grab Kindness Evolution. So this is the Kikori app for anyone who doesn't know. This is what it looks like. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. But you can actually look up Wendy's profile, and she is Kindness Evolution, and find all the Camp Kindness activities. And if you have Camp Kindness activities, then you can create and upload your own onto the app. There is a vetting process, but if they're sound good activities, follow the structure, we can get them on here and share them with several thousand people who are using the app now, which is really exciting. So yes, here's Kindness Evolution. Here's some of your activities, Wendy.
Yeah, I mean, the letter writing booth can be to anybody that you want to acknowledge. What I love about the letter writing, actually for the counselors, is the idea that they could write someone that has made a difference in their life. And a lot of times that age, kids need a mentor. And so that's one of the ideas, is for counselors to actually make the statement, would you be my mentor? Because if they're reaching out for appreciation, why not add that extra ask? And I think people are sometimes, gun shy, or don't really, they're hoping that they're their mentor, but they don't actually come out and say it. And I love this appreciation. And again, for those college age kids, is they can take it one step further and ask someone to be their mentor, or someone that they can reach out to when they're making changes in their life. And then these ones are just more, it could be to a family member, it could be to a bunkmate. So I love that, you've designed it in such a beautiful way. People can print it out and create a little booth that day. So I love that activity.
That's awesome. I'm glad you talked about mentors, because I actually didn't know that until you said it.
Yeah, I think it's important. How about you guys talk about the Web of Kindness? That was one of your activities.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an awesome kind of kinesthetic metaphor. So it's definitely something that you can use to get students moving. Embraces physical connection. You need a yarn ball, and you pass it around, and kind of use the yarn again as the metaphor to talk through how people are connected and how kindness connects everyone, and everyone has to be picked once, so everyone gets included. But I really think it brings people together, not just physically, but
yeah,
in the grander scheme. So that's an activity that we collaborated on. Web of
yeah. And do just scroll down a little bit so people can see the it's the steps. So right. It's really encompassing. Just scroll up just a teeny bit so we can see that. So the prep, and then the play, and then the learn and variation. So it's just really, I mean, the reflect, connect, and grow adds such value to any activity that people are doing. So it's a real added benefit to be able to get your activities right off of Kikori.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And, with the Web of Kindness, we did 2 focus groups with camp directors to say, what do you do already? What would you be looking for? And for the Web of Kindness and that yarn, they took it off in all different directions in terms of variations. And some built every time someone did something well, they created they tied up a little piece kind of on a roof. And so by the end of the summer, it was all created so that it was connecting. And it really, again, gave the metaphor of each one of us individually, but then together what we can create, and then as an umbrella, what we can create. So I love the Web of Kindness, and I love that it has variations and that different camps can do what they want with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the learning portion is really to take the activity, what everyone just did, and say, now what? That's your what happened. Why is that important? What are you going to do in the future? So it really brings it to life and makes it not just something that you did for 20 minutes, but
That's
play
right.
out in the future. And the variations, yeah, are where you can really be creative, make it your own, make it relevant to you. Sometimes there's tweaks, it's not always like one size fits all. But yeah, I'm glad we went through those. And I think it's about time to wrap it up. I just want to say thank you so much for spending time with me on here. It was awesome to hear your story. Your pictures were so sweet. Do you have any last parting gifts, parting words to sign off?
July 19th, do an intentional act of kindness. One act of kindness means that you participated in the day. So my shout out is do the very smallest thing you can think of, do a big planned activity if that's what's in your heart to do or your time allows for it, but just one small thing on July 19th, because that means we're all doing it together, and that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I second that. Well, thanks, Wendy.
Yeah. Oh, Haley, thank you. And I just love Kokori and Kendra, who founded it. You all are just doing really wonderful things.
Thank you. Likewise.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.